Assalamualaikum dan salam sejahtera. Hari ini saya akan memperkenalkan diri saya iaitu Ibn Sina. Nama sebenar saya adalah Abu Ali Al-Husin Ibn Sina dan lebih dikenali di Eropah sebagai Abi Sina. Saya dikenali di dunia falsafah Islam tradisional dan terkenal sebagai ahli falsafah berpengaruh pada zaman perkembangan era moden. Saya dilahirkan di Afsana berdekatan Bukhara pada 980 Masihi. Selain dalam bidang falsafah, saya juga dikenali dalam bidang perubatan dan pernah menerbitkan buku bertajuk Al-Qanun fil Artik yang dijadikan bahan rujukan perubatan di universiti di Itali dan Perancis pada abad ke-17. Bagi bidang falsafah, saya telah menulis buku berjudul Al-Najah. Asas buku ini banyak dipengaruhi oleh pemikiran falsafah Al-Farabi yang membangkitkan pemikiran Aristotle. Dengan kata lain, pandangan perubatan yang saya amalkan dipengaruhi oleh teori Yunani, khususnya Hippocrates. Teori lain yang saya popularkan adalah teori ilmu. Saya berpendapat bahawa ilmu seseorang itu adalah melalui pengalaman yang dipelajarinya sepanjang kehidupan. Oleh itu, saya percaya dengan teori jiwa dan roh. Sekian sahaja daripada saya, Ibn Sina. Terima kasih.
It seems at first weird that we might learn from Thomas Aquinas. He was a medieval saint who was reputed to have levitated and had visions of the Virgin Mary. He was much concerned with explaining how angels speak and move. And yet, he continues to matter because he helps us with a problem which continues to bedevil us: how we can reconcile religion with science and faith with reason. Aquinas was both a philosopher and a saint. Refusing either to lose his faith or mindlessly believe, he developed a new understanding of the place of reason in human life. Aquinas' monumental contribution was to teach Western European civilization that any human being, not just a Christian, could have access to great truths whenever they made use of God's greatest gift to human beings, reason. Aquinas broke a logjam in Christian thinking, the question of how non-Christians could have both wisdom and at the same time no interest in or even knowledge of Jesus. Aquinas universalized intelligence. He opened the Christian mind to the insights of all of humanity from across the ages and the continents. The modern world, insofar as it insists that good ideas can come from any quarter, regardless of creed or background, remains hugely in Aquinas' debt. Thomas Aquinas was born to a noble family in Italy in 1225. As a young man, he went to study at the University of Naples, and there came into contact with a source of knowledge which was just then being rediscovered: the texts of ancient Greek and Roman authors. Aquinas then became an academic at the University of Paris and an exceptionally prolific writer, producing nearly 200 pieces about Christian theology in less than 3 decades. His books bear beautiful and strange titles like the Summa Theologica and Summa Contra Gentiles. Such was his devotion to knowledge. Even at the moment of his death, at the age of 49, Aquinas is reputed to have been in the middle of writing an extended commentary on the Song of Songs. After he died, he was canonized in the Catholic Church and is now the patron saint of teachers. Aquinas' starting point was that some of the world's greatest thinkers have not been Christian, but this didn't bar them from having huge insights, because, as Aquinas proposed, the world can be usefully explored through reason and not just through faith. To explain how this could work, Aquinas brilliantly proposed that the universe and all its dynamics operate according to 2 kinds of law: secular natural law and religious eternal law. For Aquinas, a lot of the world follows natural laws. We can find out for ourselves how to smelt iron, build an aqueduct, or organize an economy, and none of this relies on believing in God. Aquinas discussed Jesus' injunction to do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Jesus may have given this idea a particularly memorable formulation, conceded Aquinas, but it's in fact been a cornerstone of moral principles in most societies at most times. How could this be possible? Well, the reason, Aquinas argued, is that it's an idea that belongs to natural and not eternal law. Aquinas conceded that in a few situations, God does work simply through eternal law outside of human reason, and he cited prophetic revelations and the visits of angels as examples. However, he reassured us that most useful knowledge can be found by atheists and secular-minded people within the realm of natural law.
Assalamualaikum dan selamat pagi. Untuk tegasan kali ini saya mendapat mengenai Saint Bonaventure. Saint Bonaventure atau Italian San Bonaventura, nama asal beliau adalah Giovanni di Vindazza dan dilahirkan pada tahun 1217 di Bagnoregio, Papal States. Beliau merupakan bapa teologian pada zaman Middle Age, Minister General of Franciscan Order dan juga Cardinal Bishop di Albano. Beliau banyak menulis dan hasil kerjanya mengenai spiritual life dan juga mengubah perlembagaan. Beliau melanjutkan pelajaran di University of Paris pada tahun 1235 dan menerima Master of Arts pada tahun 1243 dan kemudiannya menyertai Franciscan Order. Guru beliau yang terkenal ialah seperti Alexander of Hales, John of La Rochelle, Eudes Regal dan juga William of Wellington. Beliau juga dipengaruhi oleh Dominican Jury of Saint Quentin. Saint Bonaventure mengatakan bahawa roh berupaya memperoleh 2 jenis pengetahuan, iaitu yang pertama, bergabung dengan jasad, iaitu boleh memperoleh pengetahuan dunia luaran, iaitu kita membina konsep universal dengan pengalaman objek individu. Dan kedua, pengetahuan ini dipunyai oleh roh sendiri, iaitu seperti pengetahuan tentang dunia spiritual, termasuklah Tuhan.
Renaissance. Here are the questions I want you to be able to answer by the end of the video. The first is, what was the Renaissance? And the second is, why did the Renaissance begin in Italy? So you should be able to answer those questions after watching the video. The Renaissance was a historical period of time starting in the late 14th century. It's during this time that Western Europe begins to transform. This transformation is characterized by an extraordinary wave of artistic and cultural innovation in Europe. And the Renaissance is really important because it shatters this medieval view of the world and it brings Europe into the time period historians designate as the modern age. So it's the shift from the old to the new. The word Renaissance translates into rebirth, and you may be asking yourself, a rebirth of what? It was the rebirth of an appreciation for and the study of classical times, such as ancient Greece and ancient Rome. It was also the rebirth of an interest of the individual and the human capacity to learn, which is called humanism. Tomorrow we'll be exploring humanism in class, but just know that this new concept was completely opposite of the medieval philosophies where excesses and individualism were seen as a sin in the eyes of the church. So why did the Renaissance begin in Italy? In many ways, Italy was unique compared to the rest of Europe during this time period, and it's because of these differences that the Renaissance is going to start there. There are specifically 3 reasons we are going to discuss. The first is its geography, or its location, and its direct access to trade. Second is Italy's healthy economy and a certain group of people called the merchant class who were very important to the development of the Renaissance. And third is Italy's unique political system and their city-states. So we're going to go through all 3 of these and explain how each of these contributed to the birth of the Renaissance. It makes sense that the Renaissance begins in Italy because Italy is the home of ancient Rome, and they have a lot of access to the artifacts from ancient Rome, which is the society that Renaissance scholars and artists were trying to emulate. Italy also links Eastern and Western Europe together, making it easy for ideas to spread from Italy's central location. Additionally, Italy's advantageous location on the Mediterranean and Adriatic seas allowed for domestic and international trade to occur much easier in Italy than other parts of Europe. And this had been happening since the Crusades, which is why Italy held so much more wealth during this time period than other parts of Europe. Italy also had a particularly important relationship with the Ottoman Empire as they were trading partners, and a lot of other places in Europe.
Assalamualaikum, nama saya Anisha. Saya dari kumpulan yang akan membincangkan tentang tokoh-tokoh zaman pertengahan. Seperti mana yang kamu semua lihat, sahabat saya Wana telah menerangkan sedikit mengenai zaman pertengahan. Kita tahu zaman pertengahan mempunyai 3 peringkat, iaitu yang pertama early middle age, high middle age dan late middle age. Tokoh yang saya akan bincangkan ini adalah yang berada pada zaman late middle age. Late middle age juga zaman yang dikenali sebagai zaman Renaissance, juga dikenali sebagai zaman Pembaharuan. Tokoh yang saya akan bincangkan ini adalah Marsilio Ficino. Mari kita saksikan mengenai lebih lanjut tentang Marsilio Ficino. Jom.
Marsilio Ficino. Beliau dilahirkan di Pigny, tidak jauh dari Florence pada tahun 1433. Beliau merupakan anak kepada seorang doktor. Beliau menerima pendidikan dan mempelajari falsafah perubatan di University of Florence. Beliau adalah ahli falsafah, penterjemah dan pengulang. Antara penulisan falsafahnya adalah Psikologi, iaitu mengenai falsafah metafizik, logik dan semula jadi. Beliau merupakan penyokong utama Platonisme dalam zaman Renaissance. Pengaruh penting dalam
Hai semua, saya akan membincangkan tentang sistem teori dan psikologi pada late middle age. Pada zaman ini, berlaku zaman Renaissance. Renaissance ini berlaku di antara zaman kegelapan dan kejayaan di Eropah. Dan ia berlaku pada abad ke-14 hingga abad ke-16. Ia bermula di Itali dan kemudian tersebar meluas di Eropah melalui pemikiran intelektual dan fikiran manusia. Renaissance berasal daripada bahasa Perancis, iaitu bermaksud pemulihan menghidupkan semula aspek kebudayaan dengan memberi penekanan terhadap pemulihan budaya, sastra dan seni klasik yang pernah menjulang Eropah sebagai pusat peradaban dunia pada ketika itu. So, Itali telah menjadi pusat ilmu terkenal di Eropah pada abad ke-15. Hal ini kerana kota Konstantinopel yang dikuasai oleh orang Islam jatuh pada tangan orang Barat pada tahun 1453, menyebabkan apa yang berlaku, ramai para ilmu Islam ini telah berhijrah ke pusat perdagangan di Itali. So, pada masa inilah lahirnya tokoh-tokoh pemikir seperti Leonardo da Vinci, iaitu sebagai pelukis, muzik dan juga ahli falsafah, dan juga Michelangelo sebagai jurutera dan arkitek. So, hasil daripada Renaissance ini telah membuka jalan kepada kelahiran pelbagai aliran baru Eropah seperti humanism, rationalism, nationalism dan juga absolutism. Keputusan penyebaran pengetahuan yang disebabkan oleh percetakan dan penciptaan teknik-teknik baru dalam bidang seni, puisi dan seni bina. So, perkembangan yang pesat dalam gaya dari segi isi kandungan, seni dan persuratan. So, humanism salah satunya, perkembangan teori ialah humanism pada zaman ini adalah satu corak pemikiran yang berasaskan kepada individualisme dan bersifat sekularistik. Okey, apa yang menjadi idea utama atau tumpuan pemikiran ini adalah mereka menalin semula karya klasik dan mula menerapkan cara berfikir klasik. So, kaedah berkarya dan memberikan apresiasi yang tinggi terhadap kajian kemanusiaan. Kemajuan fahaman humanisme ini telah menyebabkan pendidikan Itali telah berkembang pesat pada abad ke-15 disebabkan oleh golongan humanisme ini muncul sebagai sarjana sekular yang paling awal di Eropah. So, mari kita kenal tokoh humanisme iaitu Francesco Petrarch.
My lady used to visit me in sleep, though far away, and her sight would console me. But now she frightens and depresses me, and I've no shield against my gloom and fear. For now I seem to see her in sweet face, true pity mixing in with heavy pain. And I hear things that tell my heart it must divest itself of any joy or hope. Don't you recall that evening we met last, when I ran out of time, she says, and left you standing there, your eyes filled up with tears? I couldn't, and I didn't tell you then. What I must now admit is proved and true. You must not hope to see me on this earth.